Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here at Las Vegas with the Stars and Stripes Racing League. Should be a good one here tonight in the desert. And folks, for the first time in a while, I got somebody in the booth with me, Christian Taylor. Christian, how you feeling about this race coming up?
Feeling good. I'm back from Talladega myself. Was a wonderful weekend promoting Hutchinson Motorsports TV at Talladega. I met some interesting people, spread the word, but here we're at the Diamond in the Desert to see the Stars and Stripes Gen 4 era cars ripping it around Vegas.
Absolutely. And right now, look who's on the track, Christian. Basically, I hate to say it, but this season, it seems like there are two drivers that have a shot to win, and one of them we're looking at right now, Scott Rickard, the GOAT.
I mean, are some of these drivers even worthy of being on the same track as the GOAT, Scott Rickard?
Well, the only one that I would say is Christian. Let me see if I can find him. Where is he at? Is he even out here? Where are you at? I'm not even seeing him. It might be a one-man show instead of a two-man show. Typically, Kyle McCoy's out there duking it out with the GOAT, but he may not be out here tonight, Christian. I don't see him.
But what I am seeing is Chad White. He is second place on the speed chart right now as far as practice goes. What is this?
That's just not good enough, Christian, honestly. I mean, if you're not first, you're last is what I hear.
Absolutely. And the GOAT, speaking of GOATs, Connor Gerard already in the chat. Oh, how you doing, Connor?
Yeah, Connor Gerard. Boy, Christian, Connor did not miss a beat while you were gone. He was in there every single race. And his intensity meter actually last night in the Flim Dogs opener, it was 1,000,000 out of 20.
1,000,000 out of 20. I'm sure I can tell you I did not feel that way on the track, Connor. I was about to blow a gasket. Every wreck, someone decided they were going to tag me in it. I think I ended with like 24x on the incident points. It was ridiculous, especially those green cars out there, Connor. I know you saw them green cars. One guy was on a controller, and let me tell you, absolute weapon.
Yeah, the 48 was an absolute weapon out there. And then the 11, the other green car, had his fair share.
Also spun me. The 48 spun himself on me and then said that he didn't realize we were racing that hard, like I was supposed to hit lift for him. No matter what lap it's on, if you step out of line at a super speedway, you can't expect someone to lift to let you in while you're trying to pass them.
Absolutely, but we're watching right now Dylan Grimm rip it around the track. Dylan Grimm, I hate to say it, but it's been a disappointing season for him. It just seems like every year here with the Stars and Stripes, every season, he's out front competing for wins. Well, this season, I think he snagged one win, but really hasn't had a shot at any of the other tracks.
Are you saying his season has been kind of grim?
That's exactly what I was getting at, but I'll tell you who doesn't have a shot to win if he keeps this up. William Duff, the fourth. Qualifying dead last right now at all the cars on the track. Let's see if he can pick up some speed in this final lap around.
William Duff definitely not feeling very buff in this season.
And he just disappeared. Oh, he's back. But he's going to cross
Josh Gratton.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, Gratton with the quick time. By 1/1000th of a second, I'm seeing. Trying to work on some camera packs here, folks. The default iRacing camera pack here actually sucks. So these are all bad camera packs, every single one of them. Look at all these camera packs on here, folks. Every single one of them is terrible. Where's he going? We're going with this one here. We're going to have to
fire our production manager.
Yeah, he's awful. But Ryan Lynch puts down a real scorcher there, Christian. 16th out of 18 cars to hit the track so far. Looks like everybody else left is not going to qualify. We got quite a few cars actually sitting in the pits not qualifying. So we got to have about 25 or so cars signed in here in the desert. Look at this beautiful view, Las Vegas. And Christian, now do you think Team BCI has any advantage here? I believe they've been to Vegas 2 times.
Well, I know that Brian probably has the advantage, but honestly, Aaron and JT, I'm not feeling too sure about here tonight.
Well, we'll see what can happen, but Brian Samara qualifies 8th, but folks, it's official. Quick time, Josh Gratton, top of the board here with the Stars and Stripes. Las Vegas 200 Tuesday night racing right here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. They are already gridded up, ready to roll. We're about to get the night started. Waiting for more of them to grid up here as I dig around some of these Hutchinson Motorsports TV tunes. Can't wait for this race. 200 miles around Las Vegas Motor Speedway, 133 laps, no stages, nothing but hardcore action. Christian, start thinking who's going to be your pick to win tonight. And how about this, Christian? Neither of us can take Scott Rickard because he's probably going to win.
Well, darn. We're going to go with the Grim Reaper of Dylan Grimm.
All right, you're going with Dylan Grimm. Well, I'm going to go with Jason Gratton. And I think I said Josh Gratton got the pole earlier. It's actually Jason Gratton, excuse me. So I'm going to go with Jason Gratton. You know, Jason's had a good season, but he's going to try to continue it. But let's get the grid lined up here. Find some tunes. Oh, this is a good one, folks. One of my favorites. We're still waiting on your pole sitter if he's ever going to grid. Whole front row, actually. Looks like we're doing it without him. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with the Stars and Stripes Series Las Vegas 200. Tuesday night racing right here on Hutchinson Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. It is time for tonight's starting line. On the front row in the pole position, he's unsponsored, but he's bad fast. It's the 46, Jason Gratton. On his outside in the 05 car, he's the heavy betting favorite to win the night. It's the GOAT, Scott Rickard.
Starting at row number 2, you find the number 36 Hutchinson Motorsports TV machine of Chad White, and to his outside, the 23 of Dylan Grimm.
Row number 3 on the inside, gonna be the number 5 machine, Trey Jackson. On his outside in the 9, Zach Kreitz.
Row number 4, you move on back to Josh Gratton in that 8 machine from Green White Checker Racing, and the BCI driver in the 53 Chevy, Brian Samara.
Row number 5 on the inside, coming number 32, the ladies' man, Griffin Salyer. On his outside in the 44 machine, Kyle Bowling.
Moving on back to row number 6, you have the family feud of the Lynch brothers, Nate and Brian.
Jumping back a row to the 13th position, it's gonna be the number 93, JT Tinker. On his outside in the 4, Aaron Hale.
Moving back to row number 8, you find the least light BCI driver, Aaron Poplin, in that 63 machine, and to his outside, the other Lynch brother, Brian Lynch, in the 3 car.
And the pace car is in, field is set, folks. We didn't say your favorite driver. They're slow, they're junk. We are ready to roll. Green flag in the air in Las Vegas.
Look at them rumble down the start here. We got some good racing action side by side. Into turn 1, you have Jason Gratton. You have the GOAT, Scott Rickard, on the high side, ripping it through in turn. And down the back stretch, Scott Rickard's going to get the jump here and possibly take over the early race lead.
It didn't take him long. The GOAT, Scott Rickard, tire pros on the car, 05 on the door. New race leader out front as the 46 of Gratton tries to hold on. It's not going to be enough. Scott Rickard, your race leader after lap number 1.
Scott Rickard closed the door and race is on. We're going to look back into the field. Chad White running 3rd position right now, just where he started, not moving back just yet, but we're going to see what he has tonight in the desert. I'm sure the track is hot out there, so we're going to see if he can hold his tires together.
Speaking of holding tires, we know this man right here knows nothing about that. JT Tinker, my guess is, Christian, you're going to see this 93 charge to the front for about the first 15 laps. Well, then, Christian, after that, he's going straight to the back because those tires, they're going to be jumping.
That's definitely how it usually tends to be with JT Tinker. He's fast, he has the skill to do it, but he lets his temper get the best of him when he gets, in a bad position, and then from there, you can't drive mad. It just doesn't work out for you.
Absolutely. So we took a look at JT Tinker. Let's see how some of his buddies are doing. We know he's got a lot of close friends in the field here in the Stars and Stripes series. We know one of his buddies, I can find him, I know he's out here. Where is the 5 of Trey Jackson out here? I could have sworn. Here he is. Trey Jackson and JT Tinker doesn't want to see that 93 car all night long.
Definitely not. He's up one position already. Trying to get away from JT Tinker. He just wants to be as far away from him as possible.
That is the plan. He's trying to put as many cars in between him and the 93 of JT Tinker. And here comes Chad White. He's challenging for the 2nd position. Christian, you think he's going to be burning up those tires in that 36 car?
I hope he knows what he's doing. He is peeking on the outside there. Looks like he's trying to set up a run, maybe back this corner up a little bit to get the exit that he's going to need the challenge. What does he do here? No, okay. Maybe he is trying to go a little conservative as Jason Gratton, excuse me, got a challenge to go to Scott Rickard on lap 5 for the lead.
Absolutely. Jason Gratton looking to the bottom. We're on board with Chad White in the 3rd position, and the impossible has just been done, Christian. The GOAT, Scott Rickard, has been passed for the race lead. Rickard gets sideways.
You know, until he got sideways there, I was about to say that Scott's being strategic here. He's letting those people just go and burn his tires up, but sliding like that is not going to be good on the tires. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Let's jump back now, Christian. If I were to tell you this man right here was in a playoff spot at the moment when we started the season, you probably would have thought I was joking. Well, that is not the case. Aaron Poplin, he's trying to lock himself into the playoffs here with the Stars and Stripes series.
I was talking to Aaron before the race, and when I finally got him to shut up about anime and actually, answer my questions I was trying to ask him, he said that he was tired of all of the smack talk in the garage. He is showing people what he is made of. He showed up in the Stars and Stripes series to give a message, and that is a message of you can't mess with Aaron Poplin.
Now, Christian, I just found out some news that Scott Rickard, the GOAT, may not like. But look who showed up last minute. He didn't put down a qualifying lap, but he's out on the track. Here he is.
The Cal McCoy in the Iowa State is in late, I believe.
Yes, sir.
The Iowa State machine. He started back. He's in the 14th position, excuse me. He started back 5 positions from that. So definitely on the move, but someone else on the move is the person right behind them. Brian Bashimi up 7 positions.
Absolutely. Pashimi, I believe he is a newcomer, and he is a teammate with Scott Rickard, the GOAT, so it's no shock that he is slicing and dicing his way through the field as he's up to 15. Now, Christian, I'll tell you who's not slicing and dicing their way through the field. The battle for dead last right here. Ryan Lynch in the number 3 car, sitting in last. He's trying to find a way around Tommy Osborne. This is a battle, but it's not a good one. Looking to the inside. He's going to make the pass. So that's going to move Osborne, the hillbilly from West Virginia, into dead last. Congratulations to him.
Again, Jason Gratton just trying to drive away from the field here.
Absolutely. We saw Rickard slip up there, and that was kind of surprising. Chad White holding him off for now. So, I will give Chad. Chad has put in a lot of work this season. He's practicing basically in every league he's been running, and he's looking pretty good here so far early on, going into lap number 11. Now, Christian, what are you seeing out of this kid right here, the ladies' man from Bowling Green University over in Ohio, Griffin Salyer?
Well, I see he's made a charge since the start of this race, up 4 positions now, make it 5 as he gets around Trey Jackson in that 5 machine. But I take a look at his pits box, and I don't understand how his crew is going to work. There are so many ladies around that pit box right now. I think he gave out 52 pit passes tonight.
Absolutely. It's just been crazy. Every time Griffin Salyer is on the racetrack, our numbers just go through the roof. Normally, Hutchinson Motorsports TV, just nothing but males. But when Griffin Salyer races, it's almost 50-50, Christian.
You got to get out of here, woman. There's ladies trying to walk into the broadcast booth to see. You got to go.
It's crazy, Christian, and all these ladies, they all think that Griffin is, loyal to them, but he's loyal to no lady because there's just too many of them that want him.
No, I mean, can we lock the door to the broadcast booth? Come on.
We're going to have to time you're picking in, Christian, not looking good. He's lost 4 spots, continuing to far this season as starting to turn into a nightmare. Grim.
The chances of me having a successful pick tonight is definitely looking grim.
Absolutely, that FedEx 23 car. He's so slow. He just got passed by Brian Samara.
Gavin Sawyer in the chat is asking, why do you think the ladies' man is liked by the ladies?
I don't know, Gavin. It's honestly just shocking. I have no. Oh, caution is out, Christian. Let's see what happens here in the field. JT Tinker's junk. No shock there. Let's see.
Oh no!
Oh, it's sideways here. Oh, of course.
The 4 of Aaron Hale.
I was waiting to see if anybody arc break them, but let's see this one more time here. Get a different view. There's the 4 of Aaron Hale. Sees Tinker get sideways, really no time to react. And JT Tinker runs out of the little skill he had. Smokes the ball. He's drunk.
Look at the hood just bouncing. That's Aaron Hale's hood just bouncing off into ability in there.
You know, and the unfortunate thing, though, lately, Christian, you know, JT Tinker, he is Kevin in the chat. He's been popping in here during our broadcast lately, actually chatting it up with Connor quite a bit. I think Connor's become a big fan, but now, Connor, you're not going to be very happy after watching your buddy, JT Tinker, junk it.
Definitely not. Connor, I mean, you're going to have a talk with your buddy. He's going to be down and out. He's going to really need some emotional support right now.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break here so you can take a look at some of these beautiful graphics we've got. And we have the point standings actually available here in the Hutchison Motorsports TV side by side. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here. Hutchison Motorsports TV, world's #1 streaming service. Click that like button on the video for us. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be right back.
I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchison Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong. Hutchison Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright, and the stands are packed.
We are back live here at the Las Vegas 200. We appreciate you folks tuning in. Be sure to click that like button on the video. And most importantly, like Larry McReynolds just told you, subscribe to the channel because America's crew chief would never steer you wrong. But you just watched some pit road action. Everybody went down pit road except your front row of Chad White and Aaron Poplin. I think Chad White made a huge mistake. He was running second at the time. Well, now he's going to be a sitting duck on old junk tires. But the field is bunched up, ready to roll. Going to be dropping the hammer, going green once again here at Las Vegas with the Stars and Stripes Racing League wearing the Gen 4 Cup cars. Green flag back in the air at Vegas. Clean jump from Chad White going into turn one as your race leader. Not a good start there for Aaron Poplin. He's going to start losing spots already. Look at these fresh tires going to work. Jason Gratton makes quick work of Chad White. Watching him go down the corner here. You're seeing Chad White. He's trying to rip the top on them older tires. Doesn't have much to battle with him, though, as the 46 of Gratton holds on the race lead. And here comes Rickard to take over that second spot right behind him. As we look at the field here, Zach Price out of Denver, currently running in the 5th position. Unsponsored number, behind him is the unsponsored number 8 machine of Josh Gratton out of Hillsboro, Missouri. He's trying to hold off the in the battle for 7th. But we'll drop back a little bit here. Ryan Lynch cruising near the back. He's not in last technically, but we're going to give him the battle for last because Aaron Hale is way off the pace. Open wheel modified.
Definitely turn up events. The concession stand line was so long. All I wanted was a corn dog, and you know I had to walk away because I knew Blake was about to fire me if I didn't get back.
Yeah, actually, I already started filing my paperwork, but since you're back here, I guess I'll throw it. Christian, you know, we talked about Chad White staying out there on them old tires. Well, right now he's seeing about 0.4 of a second per lap difference on them old junk tires.
Yep, he definitely made the bad decision there staying out, and I'm sure Aaron Poplin's seeing the same right now.
I just don't get what he's thinking. You see the race leader in front of you going down pit road. You're in second. You look in your rearview mirror. You see everybody going down the bottom of the track, staying out. No clue what he's thinking. I mean, Chad White, the driver, might be in a good spot here today. Well, Chad White, the crew chief, might be getting fired.
Yeah, and you know, we hired him a great crew chief that he just told, you know what, I'm staying out. And the crew chief was like, no, we need tires, you idiot. And nope, it didn't work.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, this was all Chad's call. Crew chief was saying, Chad, come down pit road. He just looked in the, or he just talked on the radio and said no, and he just smoked the wall. So this car's just total junk right now, Christian. He just ruined his whole race staying out.
Look at that 91 though, Chris Essery. Isn't that just a beautiful car?
Let's take a look here. Oh my. That is beautiful.
Quick story time. Ladies and gentlemen, you almost lost me over the weekend. I was in Alabama Saturday at the Xfinity race, and we were in line to go to the infield so we could watch the concert Saturday night. And I, in the middle of Alabama, surrounded by a couple thousand Bama fans, screamed at the top of my lung, "Go Vols!" And let's just say there was some drunk people around me that were very unpleased with me.
Absolutely, and I believe that was the day of the big game that your team actually ended up losing. Is that right?
Yes, we lost, and it wasn't very pleasant.
Not at all. Well, Chris Essery, he isn't scared. He's still rocking the Tennessee paint scheme. He's not ashamed. Now, we're starting to get to know Chris a little bit better. He's actually running in another league. Is that right?
He is. I saw him on the track last night in the Wills America Cup Series. Definitely going to be interesting to actually be racing with him instead of just broadcasting.
Let's see how that season goes out. That was their first race last night. Actually, the first race ever for the league. So this is their first season. But we jump back out front real quick. Take a look. We got Jason Gratton, your race leader. The GOAT, Scott Rickard, waiting to strike, sitting in that second position.
Scott Rickard definitely playing the Jaws theme coming up behind Jason Gratton. As Bump and Run, Jesse Becker says he joined to hear nothing but Go Vols, and honestly, Jesse, take notes.
Absolutely, Jesse tuning in here. We appreciate Jesse tuning in, checking out the chat. Folks, we appreciate all you tuned in here. Be sure to click that like button for us on the video. Subscribe to the channel, or we're going to have to keep sending you to Larry McReynolds, our buddy.
And we're not afraid to do it either.
Meanwhile, though, Chris, Kyle McCoy, he joined the session very late, was unable to even qualify. He started all the way back in the 19th position. Well, he is up to 6th, and he's got plenty of time.
He's got it on cruise control. Like, he definitely installed cruise control in his Chevy tonight, so he could just, lay back. About lap 100, he's just going to turn on the jets and take the lead and win the race.
Absolutely. Checking out the chat here. Jesse Becker typing out paragraphs, trying to read up on. But we look through the field here just a little bit. Jason Gratton still out front, trying to hold off this GOAT behind him. There's just a GOAT running around the track right now. It's none other than the 05 of Scott Rick.
Definitely so. Look at the focus on that face as he's running for his life. That is Mario.
Mario is driving.
Look at me, it's a Mario.
See what the GOAT Scott Rick. Now Scott Rickard, he's not screwing around. He's not out here pretending like he's Mario, a video game character. He's out here to win.
Definitely so.
And now let's go back to Chad White, because honestly, we need to redo his whole makeup and make him look like a clown after that decision he made.
Well, I've already ordered the vinyl wrap for his helmet, Blake. Next week he will definitely be wearing a clown helmet, and if he refuses to put it on, we'll just fire him.
Yeah, I want a clown nose on the front there underneath the visor.
I got you. I'll order that too.
He's probably going to end up getting
using your credit card.
Honestly, so what makes that decision even worse, Christian, I mean, a lot of times, you can make that decision knowing, oh, well, there's going to be a stage in 40 laps. Well, here in the Stars and Stripes series, there's no stages. So he's probably just toast. This thing's going to stay green the rest of the way, I bet. Chad White's probably going to lose a lap or something crazy.
Yeah, definitely not very fortunate. And Aaron Poplin, where is he at? Is he disconnected? He quit.
Oh, well, he disappeared forever. He always blinking bad.
That's that Charlotte internet there.
Well, he stayed out, has the old junk tires, and he's blinking bad. He's trying to make the playoffs. He comes into this race, folks. If you saw the point standings, he had a 40-point cushion on the cut line. Well, he's going to use a lot of those points here tonight.
I think Aaron Poplin has ordered some of that Bell South internet from the 21st position, Ryan Lynch.
I'll tell you what, yeah, Ryan Lynch. There it is. Ryan Lynch, Bell South, dial-up internet. Christian, and I will say, this car is as fast as Bell South internet. Ryan Lynch running last. Boy, those still cruising in the 6th position. He knows he's got a long way to go here. We got some battles right here. Look at these. Got 5 cars battling within about a quarter of a second of each other.
Yeah, you got Brian Samara on the inside battling this. All gonna go sliding. Chris Esri contact and just constantly just few people just hitting the walls over and over.
Boy, he hit the wall as hard as the wall that Tennessee hit when they ran into Alabama last Saturday.
Yeah, that is definitely the case. I'm not even going to try to defend them. They played terrible. I don't even know why they showed up for Bama.
They should have just forfeited. They could have saved a lot of money traveling.
Yeah, you know what's funny is that we were at the concert Saturday night in Alabama, and the concert was going on, and they had the game up on the big screen next to the concert. But once Bama started running away with it, they turned it off and just started showing the concert because they knew it was settled, like in the second quarter.
Absolutely, and let's see how the Manchester Iowan is doing. Brian Lynch and that 24 Hooters machine. Christian, it's impressive that Hooters has stayed on board this long. Didn't they file bankruptcy like, I don't know, it was 10 months ago or so?
Well, they didn't really file bankruptcy, I don't think, but they had a deal with Hendrick Motorsports that definitely fell through. I mean, but honestly, I think they just realized that they were sponsoring a bum team, and who would want to sponsor Hendrick Motorsports?
Absolutely. I mean, the most pathetic team in the NASCAR circuit, Hendrick Motorsports. We saw what they had to offer on Sunday at Talladega. Not much.
And what was funny is with that last restart, Kyle Larson's crew chief was like, "Yep, map's good. You definitely gonna make it." He ran out down the backstretch in the final lap.
Yeah, with a lap and a half left. Yeah, he wasn't even close.
Yeah, well, I mean, what a rookie move from his crew chief there.
Yeah, I think his crew chief needs to go back to school, take some math classes or something. We're watching the GOAT, Scott Ricker, trying to reel in Jason Gratton. Always mix up the two Grattons. Jason Gratton out front here. But I'll tell you what, though, Gratton putting on a clinic so far. He's led most of these laps.
Speaking of the Grattons, the one that is not doing well is Josh Gratton. You can find him back in that 16th position, down 9 positions before he started.
I tell you what, this season has not been very great for Josh Gratton in that 18. He's had one or two races where he showed some speed, but other than that, he's kind of just been out here filling the field.
And then talk about filling the field, he needs to fill his car with sponsors because it just isn't happening.
Yeah, him and his brother both, Josh and Jason. I mean, Jason has even been, he's been, leading races pretty regularly. He doesn't have a sponsor either, so just something about the Gratton name in motorsports that sponsors don't want to touch him with a 10-foot pole.
Not at all. I mean, he couldn't buy a sponsor if he tried.
Rumor has it, as they were coming up through the ranks before they got up to this illustrious league of Stars and Stripes, they were at the local races and they're always fighting in the pits. So these sponsors, they're corporate sponsors, they don't want anything to do with them.
I hear that WWE might be interested in that sponsorship, but we'll have to see how that plays out.
Absolutely, and we check out the chat here, folks. We appreciate you tuning in here. Have Bump and Run, Jesse Becker chatting it up with Connor Gerard. Connor, have we got a reading on the intensity meter yet? I don't think we have. Jesse, since you just tuned in, last night Connor Gerard put the Flim Dogs opener on a rating scale. It's a 0 to 20 intensity scale. Well, he had it at 1 million. I think that's the highest he's ever had it, Christian. That's saying a lot.
That is. I mean, I know he's had it at 100,000 before, but to say it was at 1 million out there on the track, man, I was sweating. I was really aggravated hearing that one. I felt like I was a wrecking ball.
Jump around, out of Malcolm, Nebraska. Christian, we did some research on Malcolm, Nebraska, and man, we didn't find much, did we?
Definitely not. I mean, I can't even remember it. It was so little.
Yeah, basically, it was a dirt road, and their downtown had I think they had a post office. It looked like it was maybe attached to a Dollar General.
That's about right.
Chad White's still out here on his old junk tires after making the call of the century. He had race-winning speed, and he just ruins it by staying out there with old tires for no reason. Out here trolling the Hutchison Motorsports TV 36 machine. I think we need to rip off our decals on his car when he pulls in after this race.
Definitely so. And you were talking about the people that didn't pit with him. Aaron Poplin went into pits, and I think that now he's just trying to make chicken salad out of chicken, what.
Absolutely. Looks like he's gonna give up the 12th position here to Nate Lynch here shortly. But we jump up front though, the ladies, man. Griffin Salyer cruising in the 3rd spot. Good night so far for him, trying to reel in the GOAT. Scott Ricker kind of shocked he's still running with him.
Yeah, I mean, he's put on a decent performance here tonight, up 6 positions from where he started here. 43 laps into this 133 lap of race at Las Vegas.
And I'm checking out the chat. Connor Gerard, man, this must be a lame race to Connor. It's only 20 out of 20. It's only max.
I don't get, like, shouldn't max be good? Like, our meter is kind of broken, ain't it, Blake?
Well, no, it's kind of turned into one of those deals. Like, whenever you leave feedback for a retail store, you go at like 5 or 10 points. But if you give them a 4 out of 5, it's actually a negative review for the league.
Oh, definitely. I mean, that's how my bonus worked at Spectrum. Like, if somebody was reviewing me and they got it backwards because instead of 5 being perfect, 1 was perfect. So they had to hit 1. But if someone thought, oh man, 5 out of 5, well, then they just cost me $200 on my bonus.
That is definitely different, but we jump up front. Jason Gratton still leading this thing, has a half a second lead. He's actually pulling away from the GOAT, Scott Rickard. Meanwhile, Kyle McCoy has worked up to 4th. He is slowly reeling these guys in, and my guess is we're probably going to get a pit cycle here, I don't know, in the next 10, 20 laps.
Kyle McCoy is just toying with the field. I actually heard some of his in-crew chatter, or excuse me, his headset. He was saying that he's going to ask for an EOL on the next caution just so he could pass the whole field again.
Yeah, he's basically bored out there, passing everybody. It's really not even a challenge for him. He's out here out of Morrison, Illinois. Between him and Rickard, they have 9 wins between those two. And I think we're here around round 15 or so, if I'm not mistaken. So they basically won all these races here. Everybody else essentially racing for second.
Second indeed.
I'll tell you, one of these weeks, we're going to see this 78, Brian Pashimi. He's a rookie in the league, so unfortunately, he's not allowed to qualify, I believe. So he has to start in the back every week. But he's got serious speed. Every week, he goes straight to the front. I believe he's a teammate of Scott Rickard now. And he's up to 6th. He started all the way back in 22nd position.
Up 16, like you just said. Honestly, it could happen here tonight. He is catching Kyle McCoy.
Looking at lap times here, his last lap. Well, he's a little slower than the race leader. Race leaders are your 2 fastest cars on the track at the moment. Because McCoy had to burn some of his stuff up getting around some cars. So he's kind of lost a little bit of speed, but he's still looking good in the 4th spot. Christian, what are you seeing out of Nate Lynch? He's trying to reel in his big brother, Brian.
It's been a kind of a plateau effect of a night for him. He's not really gained or lost much, just right where he is. He's right where he's been here tonight in that 25 mellow yellow, which honestly is a terrible soda.
Christian, I'm kind of glad it's not really around anymore. At least I never see it.
Oh, it definitely still exists.
Yeah, it's there, but you just never really hear about it. I remember, when I was a kid, it was pretty big. You always had mellow yellow everywhere. Now it's like you got to look for it.
But it just looks like he's caught that 24 machine. Brian's going to be trying to work his way around him.
And Christian, if I'm Nate Lynch in that 25 car, I'm catching this 24, and I'm thinking in the back of my head, all the mean things Brian Lynch did to me when I was a kid. If I'm Nate, I might just dump him.
Yeah, he definitely would. Nate's going to slide up the track almost all the way. Is he going to get into the wall there? We got a 3-wide battle? Oh, wow. He's going to pass both of them.
Wow, 2-for-1 special. Nate Lynch is later, losers. You slow, I'm fast. He bats slow.
He's all jacked up on mellow yellow coming at you.
So that's going to put Brian Lynch into 12th with Chris Essery 11th. Nate Lynch up to 10th.
He is gone. Speaking of gone,
Jason
second lead is
yes, full second lead on the GOAT. I tell you what, Griffin Salyer might have something for these boys. The ladies' man still cruising in 3rd. He's still on the back bumper of the GOAT.
Oreo machine. My wife's favorite snack is the Oreos. Shout out Danielle.
Absolutely, Danielle taking a night off from the chat. It looks like, she was busy last night pulling double duty, making clips, rooting for you, controlling the chat. She was doing all kinds of stuff last night.
Oh yeah, I let her down last night. She was not happy with my 8th place finish. She told me I needed to do better.
Yeah, now, is it true? This was a rumor going around the garage, but she made you sleep on the couch last night, didn't she?
I wish you wouldn't bring that up on there. It's kind of embarrassing, but yeah. Back was sore this morning. I had to sleep on the couch for my 8th place effort. She says 5th or better, I get to sleep on the bed. But obviously, I didn't bring home a 5th place, so on the couch I was.
We had Trey Jackson there, almost lost it coming out of turn 4, goes all the way down to the apron sideways, able to save it though. These tires are getting banged up right now.
He slipped on some mayo.
But Christian, we're looking at tire fall off right now. Your race leader, Jason Gratton, he's got about 1.5 seconds of fall off right on the top.
Yeah, he's still fast though compared to everybody else.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody's dropped off about a second and a half at least, and Griffin Salyer taking over the second position from the GOAT Scott Rickard, and he's going to try the apron out. That's a little risky here with these old tires. It's not going to pay off.
Yeah, I wouldn't be trying something new this long into a run myself.
Yeah, look what happened. He went from second to fifth.
But before this pit cycle goes on, let's see who's in the Hutchinson Motorsports TV battle for last.
Well, it's kind of hard to monitor since we're in the middle of a pit cycle still, it looks like. But we're going to give it to this man right here, Brian Burchett. I believe Brian also in the Flim Dogs Wheels America Racing League.
Yes, definitely was one of the ones that was out there on the track last night.
We got Larry Griffin down pit road. I believe Aaron Poplin, did he pit? I don't know. Might have. Yeah, him and Chad White, I think both have pit. And Aaron Hale, he's gone down pit road. JT Tinker, I don't even know why he's still out here.
Yeah, he's just doing the best he can, Blake. You can't fault the man for trying.
Well, I tell you what, he's got liquid death on his car. It's a terrible drink. He's a terrible driver. Just all terrible all around for the 93 of JT Tinker.
It looked like him and Ryan Lynch were doing the same old dance move down the backstretch there.
Absolutely. And we see Brian Piscini up to the third position, Christian. Started back in the 22nd spot. Here he is in third.
He is on fire here tonight. Definitely catching up to McCoy now, for sure.
Yeah, McCoy up to second now. Now Rickard has fallen back all the way here to sixth.
You know, but I will say one thing about Scott is he knows when to, you know, pull the throttle back, let's save tire. And it's honestly won him quite a few races when you think, okay, he just doesn't have the speed. At the end, he's making the charge and passes the leader to win the races. And it's usually within the last 20 to 30 laps.
Absolutely, and we know he likes running long on these green flag stops. You know, you see a lot of guys, they like being the first to pit road because they're thinking, oh, well, I can gain 2.5 seconds. Oh, caution's out.
Oh,
William
no.
Duff is jumped. What is he doing? Look out!
What is he doing?
He's dead. He is dead.
Did he just, like, say, I'm done? Getting reports that his game froze, but I think he actually had a heart attack coming out of that turn and just,
you know. Oh, that's Grattan in the 8 car. He is jumped. Oh, God.
Oh, gosh.
This is brutal.
We're gonna
I don't even know if we ever saw him. Let's hop on board real quick. So here is Josh Grattan. He says, okay, there's a car down low. I'm good. He's like, what do I do? Do I go low? Do I go high? Where do I go? Wham!
Just completely annihilated there. Is that Aaron Poplin got into him too? Oh my goodness.
Aaron Poplin just wanted to finish him off. You know, Aaron knew his race was over because he stayed out on that last yellow. Well, he said, you know what? I'm just going to smoke him, finish my night.
And that hood is just up in front of Aaron's face. This is going to change the entire race. It was mid, pit cycle. It's probably going to trap some people a lap down, but I don't think it's going to trap anybody who was relevant a lap down, though.
Yeah, Chad White trapped a lap down, but he wasn't any relevant. Looks like Brian Samara, I'm guessing, is going to be your lucky dog. But you're probably going to see all these guys head down pit road. But the bad news is those guys that get the wave around later, they can't pit. They're just sitting ducks.
Definitely going to be at a disadvantage.
Unless, though, if any of these guys stay out. Yeah, okay, I think everybody's pitting. So, yeah, everybody's going to get the wave around. That's Samara, Chad White, Brian Lynch.
You're going to have to see what happens there.
Well, you know what? We're going to take a quick break, though. We'll be right back on Hutchinson Motorsports TV side by side. See you in a bit. We are back here at the Las Vegas 200. Jason Gratton, your race leader. And don't look now, folks. Look who's on his outside after missing qualifying, joining the session last second with no practice. It's Kyle McCoy. Uh-oh.
McCoy definitely sneaking his way up here through the field as the pace car is going to be making that hard left turn to get out of the way. They make it to the Geico restart zone. Green flag is in the air. Jason Gratton leading us to the green flag. Gets the jump. But I think it's going to be momentarily as we're going to have Brian Pashimi battling him as Kyle McCoy falls back to third heading into turn one.
Yeah, not a good jump there for Kyle McCoy. Jason Gratton trying to hold on to the race lead, and out of nowhere, Brian Pashimi says, you know what? It's as good as ever of a time for me to get my first Stars and Stripes Series win on Hutchinson Motorsports TV. .46 into the wall. He's going to give up the lead here. Here comes Pashimi. New race leader, Brian Pashimi. Kyle McCoy right beside the 46 now, looking to take over second as the 46 of Gratton gets a little sideways coming off the corner, but actually gets a good run.
Just intense battle here. Kyle McCoy seeing what he could, lay back and get the run again. Here he comes through the trial. What does he got here going into one? They're side by side in front of him. He's probably just waiting for a slight mistake, but I don't think it's going to come at this level.
Absolutely, especially between these two flying right now. But he's just saving some tires at the moment. He's hoping they run side by side, maybe burn some stuff up. But hey, how about this in the fourth position? Here comes the 9 looking to the inside of McCoy, trying to take over third. That's Zach Kreitz. Christian, looking at the sub count, we actually lost a subscriber today. Who would unsubscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV? If we find you, it's not going to be a good day.
We will send papers after you. We will sue. I got to sue you.
Yeah, we will sue. And first things first, I need to start doing some research. When some people unsubscribe, we're going to call you out, and I'm going to start finding addresses. Allegedly. I'm kidding. Obviously, I'm kidding, folks.
Yeah, you'll definitely get some flack if you say that and don't claim you're kidding, because you know how sensitive people could truly be.
Yeah, I mean, I would never do that. I'd never send somebody to your address if you unsubscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV. Trust me. We're watching Scott Rickard, the GOAT, and he's running 7th right now. Not sure what's gotten into the GOAT. He might be concerned about his tire wear in the last run, and he's trying to make these things last a little bit longer this time.
I think that's what he's doing. Like I was saying earlier, he's honestly pretty good at that conservative holding when he needs to hold and going all in when it's time to go.
Absolutely, so we'll keep an eye on him, but let's jump around the track a little bit. Go to the most exciting, according to iRacing. It's going to be the ladies' man, of course. Christian, a woman must be controlling this.
Definitely so. Definitely.
Most exciting, the ladies, man. Griffin Salyer from Bowling Green University. Christian, can you believe it's actually the sports mecca of the world, Bowling Green University? One of the best football programs in the entire nation. We're going to just ask Tom Ogle about it.
I definitely would not agree.
Right, we're going to have to talk with Tom Ogle.
What is he going to get all over the bumper right there of Kyle McCoy?
Looks like a battle for fourth. McCoy's trying to save some tires, but Griffin Salyer says, get the hell out of the way. I'm not saving. I'm going to the front.
So it looks like he's just trying to get that high side to work. Does he do it off of the corner? We don't know.
Who knows? Getting bored of that battle. We're going to see how Chad White's doing. Finally has some fresh tires after his terrible pit strategy call. Well, actually, though, he doesn't have fresh tires because he was pinned down a lap. He got the wave around, didn't have time to pit. So he's out here on old tires like he has the entire race. Shameful.
Just a unimpressive performance from Chad White here tonight. He's gonna You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and set up the meeting for 8:30 tomorrow. Does that sound good for you?
8:30 works for me. You know, again, I tried to. I actually during our first break, I radioed down to his crew chief. I was going to chew him out, maybe fire his crew chief on the spot. He said, "Whoa, Mr. Hutchinson, I told Chad, come down pit road, pit now, pit now." He just in the radio just responded with no.
Yeah, he said, "I know what I'm doing," and just obviously it wasn't the case. As Brian Samara working his way in the 13th position from Kannapolis, North Carolina.
JT Tinker's still down a lap after getting. I mean, I guess everybody got the wave around. Well, one wasn't enough for JT Tinker. He's down 4 laps.
Be working. He's passing Lynch for no reason, I guess, then.
Yeah, he's down 4 laps out here. JT Tinker, he's just looking to crash again. That's his goal.
Ryan Lynch still right where he's been all race, though, back in.
Aaron Poplin's retired. He's done.
Might be that Bell South Internet again.
Aaron Poplin calls it quits. You know, again, he did junk his car, though, and there's no fast repairs, so I'd say that has a lot to do with it. So his night is finished. He's going to bring home 21st position.
As this might be Gratton's race to lose. He's been leading this whole time. Can he keep this up, this momentum that he's got going?
You know, it's all going to come down to the pit strategies when the late cautions come out, I think. You know, these guys are probably going to have to pit one more time. You know, we went green around, I don't know, what, 68 or 70 or so. So they're probably going to want to cut this in half. So I'd say they'll be wanting to come down pit road around lap 100 is my guess.
I'd say so for sure. Probably. I mean, it might be a little... It might be where the strategy splits and some come sooner and some come older.
But in the chat, we got Sprite, which is Cam Patterson. We appreciate you tuning in here, Cam. It's been a while since we've seen you. Good to see you around. Be sure, folks, if you want to join the Hutchinson Motorsports TV Discord in the description of the video. Check it out. There's a link you can join. All kinds of good info in there. You know, we obviously post. Most of the times we go live, and then we also have some events we do every Friday night. Have the Dash for No Cash events, and sometimes some other stuff. So be sure, join that Discord. We share all the leagues we broadcast, all kinds of good info. Battle for the race lead, though, here, Christian. Pashimi looking to the inside of Gratton.
Is he going to be able to take it here? Yes, it does. He's wrapping that bottom. You know, gluing it down to the bottom there, making it work. Is it still going to be side by side, though? I mean, I don't think the bottom's the best way to pass, but he's slowly doing it. But this is just giving Zach Kreitz and that 9 Machine time to sneak up behind him.
Absolutely. Kreitz hoping they stay side by side a little bit more. And it looks like the top side is a good lane to defend as the 9 gets into the wall there. Big save.
All 3 of them got loose there. This shows you how hard they're racing here at Vegas. Let's see if they can make it through this turn without getting slideways.
Yeah, we know, again, Gratton, he's holding the top lane just so he can get the momentum off the corner, and it's working for now.
As Mashimi's just going to fall back and, for now, just rethink of a strategy to try to get around Gratton.
And then back here in the 6th position, Scott Rickard, the GOAT, is laughing and licking his chops. He says, keep racing, boys, and he is giggling in the car. He wants to burn it up.
The GOAT, Scott Rickard, laying in dormant, laying in wait. The Viper only strikes when the time is right.
Long way to go here tonight, folks. Heading into lap number 80 this next time around. About 53 or so laps remaining here at Las Vegas 200. Let's jump back in the field a little bit, see how our buddy, how's Brian Lynch?
Currently in the 16th position. You know, it hasn't really been forward at all tonight, back slightly, but just I say a mid-evening for him.
Absolutely. You know, Brian Lynch always working hard on those graphics. You know, those are handmade graphics he makes, Christian. He puts a lot of time.
Absolutely. You know, and bring some respect an artist that hand makes his work. It puts so much time and effort and its own energy. And honestly, the entire Lynch family has that sacrifice when Brian Lynch is working tirelessly on those graphics.
It's all the time. I'm trying to find some of his great work. You know, and one time somebody made a comment, said, Brian, is that AI? He just banned him straight from the league.
And he should. I mean, how could somebody disrespect an artist like that, accusing them of using AI?
I have no clue. You know, his work looks nothing like AI. I'm trying to find some of it here, but I'm not.
And also, I have permanently banned someone from the HMS TV channel when they called our music AI. I worked so hard on that music, and for it to be called AI is honestly a slap in my face. The disrespect. My wife doesn't see me for hours every time I go into the studio to make, honestly, the biggest bangers you'll ever find.
And these three are still duking it out. Look out, your leader getting loose. He's all over. He's warming his tires up down the straightaway.
He's just toying with him. It's Cal McCoy on the outside, going to be taking the move right now. He's got the optimal line. Does he make it work? Coming out of 4. Yes, he does. Jason Gratton just keeps getting slideways there.
Toast.
And Pizzimi is going to get around him too.
Yeah, Brian Pizzimi taking over the second position, and then Salyer going to take over third. So Gratton goes from first to 4th. He was all over the place that whole lap.
Yeah, I think Gratton's definitely killed those tires. As now, honestly, we should just wave the checkered flag. It's over, folks.
Oh,
no, caution is out. As I say that, what happened?
Trying to. Oh, here we go. Of course.
Oh.
Of course.
Oh, my.
This guy. I tell you what, folks, Chad White makes me sick to my stomach. Take a seat, this Christian.
Oh, somebody's sliding in front of him, though. And, oh, no!
Brakes!
The barrel! What's all gas? No brakes with it! You know what I mean?
Let's rewind this a little bit more. So there was actually a wreck to start this. Chad checks up, and Brian Samaras says, what are you slowing down for, loser? Wham! Smokes him. So here it is. Down the backstretch here. Okay, you got one sideways.
He gets turned off the nose of probably one of the Grattons there.
That's the 9 there got turned, and then Brian Samaras says, get the hell out of the way, loser. Let's try to find him. Where is Brian Samara? That was intentional.
That was definitely intentional. You saw him turn left right at the last second and aim for him.
Somebody ban this guy. He's trying to take out Chad. Boy, I tell you what, Chad makes enough bad decisions, and then for something like that to happen on top of it all, it's just brutal.
Oh, man. Definitely a turning of events here tonight, as this is probably going to be the last pit stop required. So if we go green all the way, we're not going to see any more pit stops for sure. As it looks like everyone's going to get cleanly into their boxes.
There's the graphic there, Christian.
Intentional wrecker. That's definitely the case.
Brian Samara. He's probably done for the night, at least for a while. But the race off pit road, Kyle McCoy going to hold on. The whole field enters pit road. McCoy wins the race. Pacini in second. Salyer third, followed by Gratton and the GOAT, Scott Wrigley, rounding up the top five.
So we're going to get a restart going here as Blake, we haven't done this tonight. Let's, as the field paces around, I know Brantley Roden's up in the sky right now.
Let's take a look if we can get a connection to Brantley's cameras up there. Up there he is.
Look at how high he is tonight. The harpoondesigns.com blimp up in the sky, piloted by Brantley Roden. You could go to harpoondesign.com and get your iRacing paint today. And let me tell you something. Blake, did you hear this? The new rumor?
What's that?
Paints only start at $25.
Are you serious?
$25 to get your paint from the #1 painter on Trading Paints.
Christian, that's got to be an opinion. I mean, #1 painter, that's a very vague opinion. How can you prove that?
Because you could go to tradingpaints.com, select painters, and it's going to be right there, Brantley Roden.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me, hang on, I'm going to confirm this. All right, folks. So look, I'm on tradingpaints.com right here. So I've got the painters tab. Whoa, wait a minute.
I wasn't lying to you. You can call me a liar, but I ain't one.
Hang on, just to make sure. So I'm going to click the showroom. I'm going to go down to painters, right? Okay. So it's going to load. You know, this is a fresh reload, tradingpaints.com/painters. This must be rigged or something. So I'm going to double check. Yep. Wow. He is number one.
You know, and everyone, and look at the follower count. I mean, it's not even close. 1,000 more followers than the next guy. Look at all of these paints. If you are a JGR fan, this is definitely the place for you to go. He's got all of the recent paints on there. He's got some Chevys. He's got some Xfinity cars there. As you see the Menards 20 car. I see the 11. I see the 20. I see Talladega Nights. I see Dale Jr. You got everything you might need right there in one place.
That is crazy, and I can't believe the paints from the best in the business start at just $25. But, folks, the field is set. We are ready to roll at the Las Vegas 200 from the Harpoon Design Blimp. Green flag in the air. Kyle McCoy, your race leader.
Kyle McCoy gets his jump on, takes that lead, and is going to drive off into the Las Vegas sunset, the diamond in the desert. Being brutal here to these drivers tonight.
Just toying with him. You know, he didn't even qualify. Started in the back. Took him, I don't know, 40 laps or so to get up front. Well, here he is. He's in the race lead now. Clean air in front of him. Just 40-some-odd laps left to go.
And Connor Gerard's tried to jinx the whole field. He says he doubts the wrecks are done.
Wow. That's brutal. He's probably right, though, because this man is still out there, Christian.
JT Tinker chugging liquid death as he's driving around the track.
We'll take a look at what happens to the field. Brian Samaras still on pit road after junking Chad White. Did Chad White make it back out? I think he did. I think he's on the lead back. Hopefully that car's off.
He did, but I'm seeing Brian Samara. He still has a meatball, which means he's either out or has required repairs still.
Sitting on pit road, so he's probably just gonna get it fixed and get back out there. Maybe wreck somebody else if he can.
Look, I'm hearing chatter from the garage. Brian Samara intentionally hit Chad White because he wants Aaron Poplin to have the HMS TV sponsorship.
Oh my! Where'd you hear that from, Christian?
Look at the chat. Oh. It's from the source.
Wow! Screenshot that, folks. Everybody screenshot that. That's proof of intentional wrecking.
You know, this is a turn of events right now. Ladies and gentlemen, this might be the biggest scandal since the Montreal screw job.
Boy, Chad White had a rough night, you know, on a terrible pit call, and then Brian Samaras just finishes him off. Let's take the Hutchinson Motorsports TV drone around. Take a better look at this.
As we're going to have to get the configurations up, let's just take the drone on around. Blake, careful, man. Careful.
I can't turn it. I can only go forward and back, apparently. This must be one of those cheap drones.
Oh, man. You bought the one that doesn't have left and right. Just you can go forward and back.
I can
just
go
on
and
up. Go see Brantley in the sky. There we go. Beautiful shot from the Harpoon Design Blimp.
But we got the GOAT Scott Rickard sitting in the 5th spot. Boy, something about Vegas, you know, Scott Rickard, he's been decent tonight, but just not the normal GOAT.
I mean, I think he's, you know, he says, look, guys, I've won enough. I know I'm locked into the playoffs, so we're gonna just take an easy night here. Kind of like Denny Hamlin, you know, he said at Talladega, he's not worried about it. He's locked into the playoffs.
Absolutely. And
Final four, that is.
You know, it's going to be interesting at Martinsville next week. If you're, you know, Denny Hamlin or even, well, Chase Briscoe's too good of a guy to do it. If I'm Denny Hamlin, I'm out there, I might just dump, you know, Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano both.
Well, you know Joey Logano doesn't have a chance, but Ryan Blaney has won 2 years running at Martinsville right here at the cutoff. So I think, though, if we can keep Penske out of the Final Four, we have an interesting battle, especially with the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas for the NASCAR Cup Series Championship 2025.
You know, Christian, as a JGR fan myself, I mean, it's kind of funny how Hendrick's gone downhill. As a fan of JGR, I'm actually rooting for Hendrick to make the Final Four because I know they don't have a chance at Phoenix.
Yeah, definitely so. And I'm a Trackhouse fan myself, but, you know, I'll be honest. we got quite a few years before I could worry about being in the Final Four again, but definitely looking forward to a JGR battle at Phoenix.
And let's drop back here. Trey Jackson cruising in the 8th spot out of Mayo, Florida. Been a solid night for Trey. Nothing crazy good, but nothing bad at all. He's been cruising around there all night long.
And we're going to have to deduct some go points from Connor Gerard in the chat. He says he needs to 12 to win. Connor, come on, dude.
Why is he rooting for the 23 to win? He's got nothing to race for.
I mean, I'd be okay if he wins because that means Penske out still, but come on, Connor. Why would you want Blaney to be locked into Phoenix?
Yeah, it's Ryan Blaney. I just don't get how anybody can root for that man.
I think it'd be funny if they miss the Final Four and then win Phoenix.
I kind of hope they do too. That'd be pretty funny. It probably would happen, honestly. I mean, they're probably going to win Phoenix no matter what, so we just got to hope they don't make the Final Four.
Kind of like in the Xfinity series, some karma, even though he wants to flip off kids, you have Austin Hill, who, didn't make the round 8 because of his penalty. He missed it by 21 points. He was penalized 21 points for intentionally wrecking whatever his name is in Indianapolis. But now he would have been locked into the Final Four. So it's just kind of sweet karma, and karma is always bliss.
And well, the funny thing with the Xfinity Series this year, Christian, is actually the 2 cars locked into the Final Four for the Owners' Championship. Neither of the drivers are eligible. So we actually have at least half the field are not in the Drivers' Championships, but they'll be racing for the Owners' Championship.
So it's definitely going to be an interesting fight there.
But we got Brian Pashimi.
Speaking of interesting fights,
second.
Yes.
Yeah, Pashimi 0.3 of a second behind Kyle McCoy, trying to reel him in. Still a ways to go here. Everybody should be good to go the rest of the way after that last pit stop. So we'll see how this plays out.
If you add Kyle McCoy and Brian Pashimi together, you have 38 positions gained at the start of this race.
I thought you were saying you have Kyle Pashimi.
You do have Kyle Pashimi if you add them together, but 38 positions is the other thing.
Yeah, they definitely have done their due diligence working through the field. Now, Pashimi, he is kind of mandated to start in the back as a rookie. He's not allowed to qualify, I believe. But McCoy, he just kind of rolled out of bed. I said, oh, you know what? I got a race. Hops on here, doesn't qualify, takes the green flag, and he's looking to win another one.
I could be mistaken, but I believe the rule is he was only having to do that for his first 3 races. So I could be wrong.
All I know is he's that fast.
Well, one of us reads the rule book, Blake.
Definitely not me. Your guy right here, Dylan Grimm. Decent run for him, running 6th, but he just doesn't have that race winning speed this season for some reason.
Yeah, I wish he'd figure something out. It would be nice to see him back in victory lane. I know he's won previous seasons.
Absolutely. I mean, the last couple seasons, he's been one of the heavy hitters. Just every single week was competing for wins. And maybe just something about the rotating car, just having a tough time getting his finger on the pulse of all 4 of these different cars. What are you seeing out of Nate Lynch in the 25 in Manchester, Iowa?
Still in the 12th position. You asked me this earlier, and I'm going to say the same thing. He's in the middle of his mid-race. I mean, and I don't mean like middle of the race. He's just being mid tonight.
And Nate Lynch, I think he's been in 12th basically the whole time. So started 11th, he's in 12th. Right in front of him, though, Chris Essery in that number 91, Rocky Top. What is that, a Chevy?
That is a Chevy, and good old Rocky Top will always be home sweet home to me.
Hey, Christian, I'm looking through the field here. So there's only 4 Fords in the whole field, and I think 2 of them are out.
Because Fords are junk, that's why, Blake.
Well, they're junk when Larry Griffin III's with him. The Cornelius, North Carolina native. He's running 16th.
Well, he's not worried about it. He's become a multi-millionaire living in Cornelius ever since we, on Hutchins Motorsports TV, called the town out for being one of the most beautiful towns of any racer in the Hutchins Motorsports TV network. Cornelius population has boomed.
And then the last Ford in the field, you won't believe it, it's Chad White.
You know, and tonight's race for Chad is just the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, you know, after Brian hit him, you know, I was thinking about it over that last break, and I just have to pin that on the 36, Chad White. He could have just done something better there.
You know, I mean, he stopped right in front of him. I mean, it's definitely his fault. I mean, you can't just stop in the middle of a racetrack.
Yeah, I honestly don't blame Brian Samara at all for just absolutely annihilating the 36 of Chad White. Well done, Brian, actually. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you know, and the crowd's going to give him applause for that one. He did everybody a favor.
Put us out of our misery. Thank you, Brian. But Scott Rickard, the GOAT, cruising in the 4th position. Kyle McCoy, still your race leader out front, half a second lead on Pashimi.
I will report that Chris Essery is in the field in the 11th position. And he is, according to Discord, playing Goat Simulator 3.
Wow. He's out here playing Goat Simulator 3 while he's racing. This guy is just not serious.
I mean, I could screenshot this to prove it, man. This is the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life.
All right, folks, hang on. I'm going to see what I can do to bring this up for you. Give me a moment.
I can't believe it.
Are you sure? I'm seeing Chris Chavez is playing Goat Simulator 3, Christian.
But it's Chris Chavez Essery.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Yes, he is, folks. He is playing Goat Simulator 3.
Oh my goodness. This is funny.
Let's pull this up real quick for you fans at home. Take a look at my screen. You see Chris Chavez. That's Chris Chavez Essery. Right there you have it. Playing Goat Simulator 3. Click his name here. There he is. He's on his Xbox while he's racing. Playing Goat Simulator. He's only been on for 8 minutes, so you know he started playing while he was racing. This is
hilarious. Oh my. Ladies and gentlemen, it is confirmed.
Wow.
As we have Aaron Hill pitting.
Here he is, playing Goat Simulator. We are in car with Chris Essery.
You know, look at the wheel all over the place. That's because he's driving with one hand, or he's driving with his forearms as he's got the controller in his hands.
We talk about a dedicated. I didn't even know they had a third Goat Simulator, but now we know.
Oh my goodness.
Well, like you said, Aaron Hale came down pit road for some reason. I don't think these guys are going to pit, but hey, you never know.
I see somebody finally making a forward run just way too late. Is going to be the 3 of Ryan Lynch in the 13th position.
Bell South Internet. Yeah, there's Mooresville, North
funny.
Carolina native. You know, he's been running last all night long. Well, he's worked himself up to 13th.
Yeah, and you know, every time you put the camera on him, you know, it plays his in-car camera, his in-car audio, and that's all he hears the entire race is just the Bell South dial-up connection.
I just don't know if that's true, Christian. You know what? Let's hop on board and make sure that that's actually the case here. So we're going to find the 3 of Ryan Lynch. Let's go to the in-car cockpit view, see if we can listen in and hear anything. Well, there you have it.
Just every time. That's all he hears the entire race.
Wow. Well, we go back up front. Jason Gratton, you know, it's been a good night for him. He's probably not going to get that win he was hoping for tonight, but he's been out front the whole night, and he's running third. He'd love a podium finish.
Someone who's guaranteed not to have a photo finish is he's still multiple laps down is going to be JT Tinker. What is up with him tonight?
I'll tell you what, he's got a lot of heart, at least. I'll give him that. You know, he was like 5 laps down a long time ago. Well, he's still 4 laps down at the moment, but he's trying to get to the finish.
Let's pop in his car and see what's going on.
Not much.
All I hear is crickets.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way. JT Tinker, he's just trying to get to the finish here. I'll give him that. You know, most guys, they go 5 laps down. They're probably just quitting. Well, not JT. He's going to get back out there. He's going to get to the finish.
You know, aside from who it is, I will say the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series champion, regular season championship, excuse me, was lost by Kyle Larson by 1 point. So staying out there and passing someone who might wreck could be the long-term gain or a short-term loss.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, Chad White trying to hold on to a top 10. You know, he had race-winning speed early on before he just made that terrible pit decision. And now he's cruising in the 8th spot. Not a bad run, but, I mean, he could be up there in the top 3 or 5 for sure if he would have just pit on that first caution. I truly believe.
Yeah, just, you know, his crew chief had the strategy and just, yeah.
And I even texted the crew chief, you know, before every pit stop, I always text the crew chief, tell him what to do. I mean, I'm basically crew chiefing up here. And, yeah, that's why I was just so shocked when I saw Chad stay out there. Basically disobeyed not only the crew chief, but the owner.
Yeah, it's just unacceptable.
Well, we go back out front here. Nothing changed, and still a half second separates the top 2. Brian Pashimi trying to pull something off to get around McCoy. He's just having a dream season. Kyle McCoy just killing it every single week, it seems.
Is he going to battle for the lead here and 17 laps to go? Going to see as this race marches on.
Meanwhile, Tommy Osborne out of East Lynn, West Virginia. Boy, that is one good-looking paint, ain't it?
Yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. It's beautiful, Blake. It's drawing tears to my eye of how yes.
I wonder if that was custom made.
It definitely has to be. I mean, look at the flames. And, you know, those aren't stickers. That is hand airbrushed.
Yeah, we'll take a look at the ticker, folks, because we're going to pull something up for you. There you have it. Harpoon Design. If you need paints, head on over harpoondesign.com. Tommy Osborne. As soon as this race ends, you need to stop what you're doing. Open up your internet browser and visit our buddy Brantley Roden at harpoondesign.com. Paint started just $25. Quit being cheap, Tommy.
Make it happen right now, tonight.
No excuses.
As in, no, none. And as other news, you know, I live in the small little rinky-dinky town of Delco. Apparently, we're moving up in the world, going to be getting our own hospital. Jesse Becker reports in the chat.
Oh my goodness.
I can't believe we're finally getting a hospital in Delco.
And in the chat, BMC Rock, that's Brian Samara after junking our driver Chad White. He says, all they have in Cornelius is a bridge that has a sail. No good he's talking about.
Cornelius is the number 1 city in North Carolina right now. I don't know what he is talking about.
What do you know about North Carolina, Brian?
Yeah, like absolutely nothing. I know that Brian Samara's meatball is gone and he just hasn't rejoined the race, so he's a quitter.
Yep, he's not. He doesn't have the heart that his driver JT Tinker has. Brian Samara, he just loaded up in a hauler. His car's fixed. He's like, well, I'm done. Look at this guy.
He's, you know, this is the epitome of trying.
He's been out here the whole race this way, Christian. He was literally involved in the first wreck.
He's got an open wheel modified here tonight.
There you have it.
You know, definitely open wheel modified racing here. He's currently 19th, but unlike Brian Samara, has not quit. Look at this shot, man.
I'm flying the drone around here. Christian, I'm trying to focus.
Just careful. Don't let that roll cage get into that drone now. You'll bust his radiator.
Boy, this thing's all over the place. It's hard to stay focused.
Oh, my.
Race leader, though, coming up on him. Lap traffic. That's the 4 of Kyle, or I'm sorry, that's the 7 of Kyle McCoy coming up on the 4 of Aaron Hale.
And meanwhile, Brian Bashimi is hoping that lap car gives him some trouble.
Yeah, you know, Christian, that would remind me we had a race, a week and a half ago on Saturday night where that actually happened.
Yes, we were just, watching the race, and next thing we know, or I think it was you and Jesse broadcasting, the leader just gets destroyed by a lap car.
Yeah, I think with 1 lap to go as well. So race leader going around a lap car, just totally irrelevant. He was 2 laps down at the time, and he's just challenging the leader, and then out of nowhere, the leader goes under him. Lap car goes down, just absolutely annihilates him. He ended up being junk. Second place car wins it out of nowhere. He was like 5 seconds back. And Jesse has a message
Becker.
For you.
Yeah, he's telling me to sound it out. I'm gonna sound it out. You are bald.
Oh.
His baby has more hair than he does.
Ooh, that's brutal. Jesse, what do you have to say to that? Let us know in the chat. But hey, if you're just tuned in, folks, we appreciate you checking us out. Be sure to click the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel. 9 laps left to go. All our great fans in the chat. We got Connor, Gerard, Jesse Becker, Ryan Samara, all kinds of wonderful diehard fans, and Gavin Salyer as well. Our chat's asking if Rickard has damage or something. He might have hit the wall, but I didn't have anything in my log to show up.
He's just the GOAT's got Rickard down 7 positions before he started tonight. That Tire Pros GM
He's
car.
all over. I'm thinking he smokes the wall or something because he is way off pace. That car ain't right. The right side must be messed up.
He's getting passed by Trey Jackson, if that says anything.
See if we can see the right side a little better here. Yeah, we can't really get a great shot of the right side. So my guess is he got into the wall here. Something happened to the GOAT, Scott Rickard.
If our drone pilot knew what he was doing, we could get a shot of it.
Well, we bought the dollar store drones, and they can only go up or down, forward or back.
I guess that's a you problem, right?
But Kyle McCoy out front dominating this race. 1.2 seconds separates him to our second place car of Ryan Hashimi. Christian, go ahead and say this name one more time for us.
Ryan Hashimi.
There you go. See, Jesse doesn't know what he's talking about. I mean, you've been saying it right the whole time.
No, I have never mispronounced Brian Hashimi's name. See, I'll even say it a third time. Brian Hashimi. I never stutter.
Absolutely. And yeah, we see Scott Rickard still losing a lot of ground. Again, he probably smoked the wall. There's really no way to tell. Our logs only show people basically come to a total stop. Ladies, man, with the top 5 run of Griffin Salyer, can he bring this car home? 6 laps left to go. He doesn't want to see a caution. He would love a top 5 run.
He would love it, and he's probably gonna get it. Moving up to Dylan Grimm in the 4th position. He's right where he started tonight.
With Gavin Salyer in the chat. Gavin, do you ever get jealous just when you get home? Yeah, growing up as a kid, you get home and Griffin has like 4 ladies just in the room with him at all times, one waiting outside, just all over him.
I heard that they had pool parties when they were teenagers, right? And, Mrs. Salyer, their mama would say, hey, y'all can invite 10 friends each. So, 20 people could come to the party. And Griffin would have 10 ladies show up. And no one would say they were there for Gavin.
Yeah, it's just kind of crazy. And then actually what ended up happening is Gavin was just like, hey, Griffin, do you just want to invite another 10 ladies since I don't really have any friends? And he said, sure, buddy. So 20 ladies would show up. He tells mom 10 of them were for him and 10 were for Griffin. But we all know they were all there for the ladies' man himself, Griffin Salyer.
But with 3 laps to go, coming to 2, Kyle McCoy, putting on what Kyle McCoy does. The McCoy Clinic here tonight, Iowa State car, leading his way down the backstretch. And I made a mistake. It's now coming 2 to go.
Yeah, and he's going to have led 50 laps this time around. So if he brings home the checkered flag here, it's going to be 52 laps led out of this 133-lap race. Not too bad for starting in the back without qualifying.
Definitely not. As the Las Vegas 200 in the Stars and Stripes Racing League comes to a close. Heading down the backstretch. Coming to the white flag. We're going to say one more time, go on to harpoondesigns.com to order your paints that start at $25. The white flag comes out, and I hand it over to Blake Hutchison.
Last lap around the Speedway. Don't have to worry about any more cautions. Kyle McCoy, he's out front on cruise control with nearly a 2-second lead to Brian Pashimi in second. Down the backstretch for the final time, Kyle McCoy, after starting all the way back in 19th, folks, he worked himself through the field here in the desert of Las Vegas. He's going through 3 and 4 for the final time at the Las Vegas 200 with the Stars and Stripes Series. Hutchison Motorsports TV, checkered flag in the air. Kyle McCoy, your winner.
Brian Pashimi brings it home second with his 3 laps led. And third place, Dylan Grimm.
Jason Gratton gets fourth, and the ladies' man himself, Griffin Salyer, gets a top 5 finish here at Vegas. What a run.
But after a interesting race, to say the least, at Las Vegas, we find ourselves coming to a close with our podium drivers. Kyle McCoy about to burn it down in the desert. Who would have guessed it? My oh my. All right, listen to the music hitting. That's probably gonna get copyrighted.
Hey, we just got a copyright strike. We are going to be off air next week.
Yeah, but nonetheless, as Cal McCoy says he doesn't need this motor next week, I guess it's time to start talking to some people, right? What you think, Blake?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get the top 3 in here. Dylan Grimm rounding out the top 3 podium. Good finish for him. You know, he was running around 5th or 6th most of the night. Works himself up to 3rd.
Works himself up to 3rd, indeed. And we have him in the booth. Dylan, this is Blake and Christian up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Welcome in. You fan P3. Walk us through that race. What could you have done to, make it any better?
I probably could have been a little better with my short run speed. I felt like I was a little bit better on the long run, saving the tires than some of those other guys, but we just kept getting those cautions every 50 or so laps, so it was just kind of hard to get a rhythm with kind of my long run strategy. But we did have that long run there at the very end, and was able to get back into the top 3.
Yeah, Dylan, it was a great run for you. You're putting it on the podium. Has to feel pretty good. You're running around 5th or 6th a lot of the race, and there at the end, work yourself to the podium at least. And heading into the playoffs here in the next, couple weeks or so, you probably have to feel pretty good going in after a run like this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always good to get those good finishes right before the playoffs start. Get some momentum going. Who knows what happens next week at Talladega, but yeah, hoping for the best for the playoffs for sure.
Absolutely. So the wild card race next week at Talladega, so that's going to be interesting. But hey, we appreciate you coming out here tonight, putting it on the podium. Before you head out, you got any shout outs or anything for the fans at home?
I got to shout out Nate, and Derek, and everyone who puts on this great league. You guys in the broadcast booth do a great job every week. I got to shout out my papa for spotting for me, my teammates, Josh Gratton, Jason Gratton, Zach Kreitz. They all help me a ton through these races, and it's a lot of fun racing with them. So, and anyone else there out there cheering me on.
All right. Well, hey, great job putting it on the podium here at the Las Vegas 200 with the Stars and Stripes Racing League.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that's your P3 finisher tonight. Dylan Grimm and his Chevy bringing it home. Now we move on to P2. Had a dominant performance here tonight. He's up a full 20 positions from where he started here at Vegas. We got Brian Bashimi in the booth. This is Blake Christian. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Welcome in tonight. You brought it all the way from worst to second here tonight and put on a clinic as far as moving through the field. Could you have done anything extra to catch Kyle there?
I think I waited too long to make any move. I think I should have, if anything, I should have tried to push a little bit harder to get him a little bit sideways. Otherwise, the dirty air just kind of kept me where I was the whole time. So, other than that, we were kind of just pacing each other for the longest time.
Definitely so, and you made that move through the field, and it seems like week in and week out, you seem to always be lightning fast through the field. So it's only a matter of time before you get the race win you're in search of.
Yeah, I looked good tonight. It's just that last run getting stuck where I was. It was just we'll get there. It's coming. It's just a matter of time.
Absolutely. You just slice and dice your way through the field, got through there fairly quickly. Definitely probably helps out having such a fast team with you, does it not?
Oh yeah, Kyle, McCoy, Bowling, and Scott, having them around is always a good time. We always bounce ideas on how to go faster each race, so it's been very helpful.
And if I were you, I think next time, maybe in the garage, I'd maybe slip something, maybe some sugar in the gas tank or something of Kyle McCoy.
I was thinking just cutting the fuel line, but hey, I mean, that works too.
Absolutely. Well, hey, a great run for you. Has to feel pretty good. Has some serious momentum going into the playoffs coming up here. I don't really know the playoff order right now. I assume you're probably going to make it in. You've had a pretty good season so far.
I don't think I'll be making it. I started pretty late in this season, so
Gotcha.
But we'll try. But I don't know if we'll make it.
Okay, well, nonetheless, though, has to feel pretty good, rounding out the season with some momentum. Next week at Talladega, how you feeling about your chances there at Dega?
Feeling pretty good. Like I said, the guys are really good at working together, so we might be able to get something to happen next week.
Absolutely. Well, hey, before you head out, you got any shout-outs or anything to add for the fans watching at home?
Yeah, shout out to you for the broadcast. You guys do a phenomenal job. Shout out to everyone for watching. And then everyone on the track. I mean, this car got super sideways, so to keep it as clean as we did was phenomenal job, and it was a lot of fun out there.
Absolutely. Well, hey, once again, a great job. Brian Piscini put it in the second position here at the Las Vegas 200.
Yep, thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that was your second place finisher. As Blake said, Brian Bashimi bringing it home. Second place on the podium tonight, but however, you know him, we know him, everyone knows him. The winner of the Las Vegas 200 in the Stars and Stripes Racing Series. No one would ever guess it. It's Kyle McCoy. This is Blake and Christian up in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey guys, I got you.
You bring it home on the podium tonight, and I'm just gonna ask the question. We saw you during the burnouts kiss that wall with your front end. Were you trying to hide something?
Yeah, I had to make sure it passed inspection there. No, this thing is on ice here. The whole night it was on ice. That made it a ton of fun to kind of wrestle it, and I mean some of those runs were really fun. We had some really good races up front, and pumped about that. So. Yeah, just had to make sure it passed inspection. But no, I think Brian was the fastest tonight, and I got a little circumstantially lucky and kind of took advantage. But yeah, it was awesome.
Definitely so. We saw at one point 3 cars, I believe you were involved in this, come off the corner, and all 3 cars at the exact same time broke loose, and all 3 cars saved it. It was actually a phenomenal moment in that race. But I'm going to send it over to Blake.
Sorry, caught me off guard there, but... Yeah, Kyle, so you roll out of bed last minute. You didn't even qualify. You get through the field quick there. I mean, it has to feel pretty good to be able to pull off this win.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a little extra satisfying to come from the back like that. I wasn't sure I was going to get to race tonight. The timing kind of worked out where I just barely got here on time. And, we had run a I think Brian, Scott, and I had run a league race here a couple weeks ago. That was, same car, same setting, same everything. So I kind of knew what to expect at least. But this thing drove a lot looser than what we were kind of expecting from that last experience. So it was still a topsy-turvy night. I had to dodge a couple wrecks there. Make sure the pit calls were correct. That 1 3-wide move had to really just happen at the perfect time to spot me out with the lead, and was able to kind of control the race from there. But yeah, it's always a little extra satisfying race like this where the competition is really, really tough. Coming from the back and wrestling this car the whole time around is just a blast. So this one definitely is one of my favorites.
It definitely has to feel good, and you have to know in the back of your mind. I mean, you and your teammate Scott Rickard, you've just been trading blows all season long, just trading wins back and forth. Has to be your main competitor going into the playoffs for this championship run.
Yeah, I'm definitely nervous for the 4-race stretch there at the end. Jason's been really, really fast here lately, especially in this car and these setups. So I think we've got another one of those coming up at some point. Got to survive the IndyCar, right? That seems to be my Achilles heel right now. I think we're going to an oval, so that's at least a minor advantage there. So I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. Those 4-race playoff stretches are just kind of a crapshoot, which makes it really enjoyable here when you don't have millions of dollars invested. But yeah, I'm excited. Scott, as always, I mean, we always race so well together, and I have no doubt we'll find ourselves kind of together here at the end of this thing. So I'm excited for it.
Absolutely. And, I was a little disappointed when I learned that Talladega next week is not in the IndyCar, unfortunately.
Yeah, you and everybody else, I guess. I'm not too disappointed. I think the ARCA car will do just fine, and there'll be plenty of chaos anyway. Yeah, that IndyCar would have been something. But yeah, I'm excited. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, for sure. But hey, once again, congratulations. Parking in Victory Lane here at the Las Vegas 200 with Stars and Stripes Racing League. Before you head out, though, Kyle, you got any shout outs or anything for our fans at home?
Yeah. Shout out to everybody out there watching. I think my girlfriend's watching, my dad's watching. Might have some other family members out there checking it out. So shout out to all you guys peeking in, and we really appreciate you guys putting this broadcast on. It's been a blast this season. I'm looking forward to seeing how it shakes out. And then obviously shout out to this league. I mean, we have great races like this every week. So I always look forward to this, and I'm definitely looking forward to the stretch run here. We're going to see what happens.
Absolutely. Well, hey, once again, congratulations. We'll send you down to celebrate to your team, and you definitely have some momentum heading in to the playoffs here in the next few weeks.
Appreciate it, boys. We will see you next week for a crazy one at Talladega.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that was your race winner here tonight in the Diamond in the Desert Las Vegas 200 in the Stars and Stripes Racing League. Kyle McCoy from, Bronze Horse Garage. Quite a dominant team here in the Stars and Stripes Racing League. Blake, do you think they could be stopped?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, he definitely mentioned again, Josh and Jason Gratton has had a lot of speed lately in that 46 car. So he's definitely a wild card to watch for. And again, Dylan Grimm, I mean, we know he's got talent. He can always come out here, maybe win a race or something. So you never know. But I mean, honestly, McCoy and Rickard, they've just been the class of the field so far this season. So I would kind of be shocked at this point if neither of those two did win the championship. But hey, you never know.
No, it's definitely not over until it's crowned champion. But Blake, as we roll into Talladega, can't wait.
Absolutely. It's going to be fun to see Talladega, how things play out next week. That's the one track where everybody's got a shot to win. Even Team BCI could win.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. But hey, nonetheless, we appreciate you folks tuning in here to the world's #1 streaming service, Hutchinson Motorsports TV. You watch the Stars and Stripes Racing League Las Vegas 200 here, Tuesday night racing. Tomorrow night, we're going to be back here with a Triple header. We're going to have 2 races going on at the same time. I'm going to be on the call over with the Superstar ARCA Cup Series. Then we're going to have Jesse and Christian on the call with the GLSR Mr. Radiator Trucks. And then to round out the night, we're going to go to Motor City Racing. They actually have a late night series on Wednesday night. This is their championship race. They wanted us to do the call for them, and I'm going to hop on over there as soon as the race ends with the Superstar ARCA Cup Series. They're going to be in Mazda Miatas at the Roval in Charlotte.
It's definitely going to be one to watch. You will see Blake. You might even see Christian there, but we're going to see how that goes.
Hey, that'd be fun to see, and that track's a lot of fun to drive around in those Mazdas, but that's really all we got here tonight, though, folks. We appreciate you tuning in. We're going to round out the night with a message from Larry McReynolds, our buddy. He wants to tell you something special. Stay tuned so you know what that is. You may not have heard it before. And that's really about all we got. So in the booth with Christian Taylor, I'm Blake Hutchinson. We are done here in the desert, Las Vegas, USA. See you next time.
Hi, I'm Larry McReynolds. Remember, in any type of racing, it's all about execution. So right now, subscribe to Hutchinson Motorsports TV today. You know America's crew chief. I would never steer you wrong.
Hutchinson Motorsports TV is back. The lights are bright and the stands are packed.
42 right there with him. Smokes him. Oh my goodness! Oh! The whole field is junk! It's a parking lot! They door slam each other! Checkered flag in the air! It's gonna be too close to call! Oh, he just got smoked! Oh my goodness! Turned! He got dumped in the racing! Caution is out. Oh,